applaud the DCI and the police
absolutely.
just moving with speed, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the police in Uasin Gishu, and all these other counties just doing an amazing job to make sure that young children, who are the next leaders of tomorrow, live their lives, not scared, because they go to school as early as 5 a.m.
I also don't understand that narrative, by the way.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, let me bring in some bit of politics. And this is in regards to a story that was on the papers yesterday. This is following a brief look into ODM leaders' manifesto for the country. And DP Ruto, looking at yesterday's piece, allies that, are on DP side, opening their arms, welcoming Raila to the hustler narrative, to the bottom-up economy.
Yes.
And DP hadn't said anything until yesterday, where he posted a few tweets about it. Now, looking at Raila and just the past, we said the internet never forgets. He has been on several occasions, or rather he has on several occasions dismissed the bottom-up economic model that has always been championed by Ruto, terming and accused the DP of propagating a handout culture, which he said on many occasions is overtaken by time and events. And now he has shocked many people with his change of tune, because he did put out a brief look into his manifesto, and it was in essence talking about the bottom-up economy model. And the DP went onto his Twitter and said, "My friend Tinga," I'm reading verbatim, quoting as has been captioned, as was the tweet. "My friend Tinga, welcome to the Hustler movement. The conversation here is about the economy, not ethnicity. Empowerment, not power. Jobs, not position. Creating opportunity and wealth, not sharing. Citizens, not leaders, by changing policies, not the constitution, to bottom up and not top down economics." My friend Tinga.
Politics.
I like that intro.
Yes. Actually, he calls Honorable Raila Tinga.
Yes.
Yeah. And we said here yesterday that politicians are friends.
Yeah, and actually looking at the interview that he, Deputy President did, he actually said a lot is going to be happening by the time we get to November.
Yes.
People are going to shift camps, some people are going to decamp.
By the time in January, February next year, get ready to see, because it's going to be an interesting election, 2022, because President Kenyatta is going home. Who's going to be the successor?
Then there's the question of
BBI, and then the new cabinet. The next president will come in with his or her new cabinet. So a lot of things, the foreign envoys and what have you. So much, the entire government will change. So things will happen. All right. So still on court matters, let's talk about court matters. Now, Obado is the father of Sharon's child, unborn baby. That's according to DNA. That is according to DNA.
99.99%.
99.99%. That is 99.99. The more chances that Obado is the biological father of Sharon's unborn child. That's according to analysis of the DNA. He, however, testified that the people who might have raped Sharon before killing her were still out there, since an analysis of the semen from 2 used condoms found at the scene of murder did not match DNA profiles of the 3 accused persons. All right, so the case still continues until the full hearing. We have still court matters. Court stops prosecution of LSK. The High Court in Nairobi has barred the police from arresting or charging Law Society of Kenya President Nelson Harvey over alleged assault on the society's CEO, Mercy Wambua. Now, Harvey moved to the High Court after Wambua filed a complaint that she had been assaulted during an LSK council meeting held on Monday at the society's office in Nairobi. So that story continues there. And
allow me to just jump in at that particular point.
Sure, go ahead,
Speaking
right.
of Mercy, here on the Daily Nation, she's speaking in a different capacity.
yes,
And here they are telling Officer Kagongo, surrender, we shall defend you. Okay? Surrender, we shall defend you. So the Law Society of Kenya yesterday asked the officer to turn herself in, and she was assured of legal services from the LSK. She's the chief executive, that is Mercy, not Kagongo, saying she said that just like any other accused person, she should be accorded her rights. And at this point, if she continues to be on the run, she poses a risk to other citizens, since it is understood that she is armed. So, her call out to Miss Kagongo: surrender, and we shall give you legal representation.
actually, some of the experts were saying that wherever she is, they're treading carefully because she's armed,
Yes.
allegedly armed. Because the last
has the
time
skill?
and has the skill, and reports also revealed that she trained as a sharpshooter at Kiganjo Police Training School. So even the police officers are also moving with a lot of caution.
A lot of caution. There's actually an elite team that has been
formed.
put together to hunt her down.
Exactly. So they're trying to, just move in slowly, and if Kangogo can just come out, probably, as they put it, then she'll be accorded her rights. She's still innocent, as always said, until presumed guilty. All right? So that is it. And still in court matters, witnesses emotional account of Keroche Harris last moments, and of course, the inquest there and the hearing of Keroche Harris still continues into the death of Tekra Muigai, who lived with her boyfriend Omar Lali before she allegedly fatally fell and died in their home. So that is what is happening there. All right. Quickly, today is a big day for Kiambaa people. Let's not forget. And they are going to the polls to elect their new member of parliament, who is going to represent them. As I said earlier, the two by-elections in the president's home county are seen as a litmus test for Mount Kenya politics ahead of next year's presidential, next year's polls. And of course, later on, we'll be joining our reporters who are already in that particular constituency to give us an account of what's happening. We all know that polling stations do open at exactly 6 a.m. and it will continue until 5 p.m. That's according to the regulations from the IEBC. And that is it. It's also considered to be a duel between President Kenyatta and his deputy, who are fronting two candidates. That's the UDA and Jubilee candidate. But quickly, Jen, let me just give you some of the numbers here. We have got 8 candidates taking it head-to-head in Kiambaa. We have got Kariri Njama of Jubilee. He's a businessman. And we have got John Njuguna Wanjiku of United Democratic Alliance. We have Gishia Evans Wainaina, People's Party of Kenya. We have Kamau Willie Mbugwa, independent candidate. We have Mushugi Isaac Karomo, Federal Party of Kenya. We have Munyinyi David Mugo, independent candidate. Mothaka Lucy Wanjiro, good one. Party of National Unity, the only lady here, and Ngugi Richard Njoroge, the New Democrats. So all of them are 8 candidates who are going to go head-to-head. Kiambaa constituency voter registration, that's by ward. We have got 5 wards in Kiambaa constituency, and we have got Ndenderu, Karuri, Kihara, Mushadha, and Shianda. So 5 constituencies, and in that particular constituency, they have 95,413 total registered voters. 95,413 total registered voters who are going to make it to the ballot today. So, Kiambaa people, we wish all the best to all the aspirants. May the best person win. And then continue with the manifesto and the promises you made during your campaigns. it's over. It's over. It's just about the ballot. Na kazi iendelee.
Yes. All right, before we get to continue with what we have for you in the headlines, let's get a quick look at what is happening on our roads with Doreen.
All right, and it is a chilly morning here, one boy and Victor, I can tell you for sure, really, really chilling this Thursday morning. But we are here to just give you a sneak peek of what's happening on our roads in terms of traffic, and we are at the University Way roundabout, and I'll just be showing you a 360 of what is actually happening on this particular route, and that's in regards with traffic as well as the ongoing constructions along this route. Right there, that's just actually an image of Nyerere Road. That is actually how the area is looking like. Not so bad right now in terms of traffic. They're moving at a swift pace, and again, as we move towards Wayaki Way on that section, as you leave the University Way roundabout heading to those other sides, also from the outskirts of Nairobi, again, not so bad as well, but just slightly around the roundabout where there's really heavy kind of gridlock, not moving at a parking lot. That is actually what every time we see, in studio, the maroon color, that is what usually it means by being at a parking lot, not moving at all, just at a standstill. Coming through as you head over to, that is coming all the way from City Center, coming through the University Way as you get to branch off from this particular roundabout, heading all the way to the other side of Kenyatta Avenue, moving at a swift pace on that section, no traffic at all. Also, again, as you come through this other side of Kenyatta Avenue, still moving at a swift pace, no traffic at all. Clearly, also the traffic police are just stationed around the roundabouts, trying to see how best they can manage the traffic, given the fact that this is expected to be one of those busy roads. And again, also this is simply because of that ongoing construction. Also, from what we've seen, there is that some parts of this route have been closed, or there are still some sections have been closed, and this is again to necessitate the construction of this expressway, which is expected to be complete by early next year. So it just simply means that this route will be looking this way, especially on that section as you head over to the other side of Wayaki Way, given the fact that actually these are the sections which have been closed. So it also means that motorists have been given alternative routes to use, given the fact that there's really kind of heavy traffic on those other sections there. But at least as of now, this is how it's looking like in terms of traffic along University Way. But for now, we take a very quick break. When we return, plenty more of Good Morning Kenya after this break.
Gonna bring chaos to you, and chaos is gonna bring you to the hospital.
Mayor of Miami himself, the Caramel Colossal. 460 again! 2-3. But think about Barrington matches. They've all been, 8-10 seconds. Right. He is undefeated here at MLW. Barrington Hughes has been unstoppable.
Nissan Serena ndio hii, na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS, alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill, kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
I'm ever going to have a baby. The doctor is ready to see you. Please follow me.
How do you maintain such a body?
Juice detox. Me imagine it has worked for me.
Definitely need that kind of action.
You might just decide to marry you and you live happily ever after. Everything I have is by me and me alone.
Mind your own business. This one is a magnet for abusers.
What does this number mean to you? A pack leader? A winner? Or just a number? To us, it means freshness, boldness, vibrancy, and heritage. That's why at KBC Channel 1, we make it easier for you to pop up your family entertainment to a fresh, exciting, and colorful bouquet.
You're still right in time for Good Morning Kenya on this particular day that Kiambaa constituency is going to the ballot to elect the next member of parliament. Of course, I've given you a rundown and a list of all the 8 candidates. And out of all these 8 candidates, Jen, we only have one lady standing. One lady standing against 7 men. So wish all the candidates all the best and may the best team, that is the best party or the best candidate win. By the end of the day, as I said, just make sure that after you win, just fulfill the manifesto and the promises you give to the constituents. That's it. That's it. Okay. So quickly, let me give you, on the front page of the Star newspaper, showdown as Ruto faces Uhuru at home. Showdown as Ruto faces Uhuru at home. The outcome will be a major statement on the Kenyatta versus Ruto succession battle. That story continues there. We have on the front page of the Standard, of the Star rather, we have got President Kenyatta and, you know, the Jubilee Party. We have got Kariri Njama and Wanjiku, who is from the Hustler side, that is UDA. And still on that, still the confession of the story that we talked about. Man confesses to kidnapping and killing 12 boys, witchcraft suspected. It had to go this way, Jen.
But then he actually said that he's given a concussion before he does this heinous act.
Yeah. So, as you said, the investigators are still on it, and more revelations, chances are, will continue to come in the next coming days. Now, Lali's brother changes story at Tekra inquest. Previously said he found her in bedroom, but now says on stairs. That is according to Lali's brother. While testifying in the inquest into Tekra's murder yesterday, Kuzwa Lali deviated from his earlier statement to the police, where he had said that he found Tekra in the bedroom, but now said that he found Tekra on the staircase. All right. Nyong'o hands out 250 million shillings bursary cash. More than 28,000 students in all the 35 Kisumu wards will benefit. And I think these are good step there, having in mind that in this 2020-2021 financial year, so all the students in all the 35 Kisumu wards will benefit from that kitty. And all the students, now you have your time. So this is a cartoon here. Just probably Afi, the camera, sorry. Afi, just zoom in to give me this cartoon here on the Star newspaper. All right. So just zoom in. Just get this cartoon here. There is a coffin of it's written it's do or die. We have got Jubilee handshake, Just give me a zoom in. Thank you. There you have it. So we have, there's a coffin here, and on top of it there's a Jubilee logo, and we have got a wheelbarrow, and this is Deputy President William Ruto pushing the wheelbarrow. This is the coffin, taking the coffin to the grave, and here on this end we have got President Kenyatta waiting at the ballot across the grave. So, and it said it's a do or die for these politicians. It's an interesting one there, and the epitaph is written Kiamba. So chances are probably said that Ruto is taking the coffin of Jubilee to the grave. Wow. Okay. Your interpretation to that cartoon. Okay. All right. What do you have, Jen?
Let's come to the back page of the Daily Nation, and this is school fees paid for parents amid the school crash program. So children started closing schools yesterday, and it will run up until the 16th, at least for most schools that I've heard of. And this is the end of the academic year that our children are currently in, and they're moving on to the next grade. And as parents, unajuanga, first term is the most expensive term because of this one-off charges that are involved in that particular term, given it's the first term of the academic year. Now, the past term had a little over 8 weeks into it. It was just 2 months, and parents have come out to cry that this crash program that is looking to squeeze 4 terms between the calendar years of 2021 and 2022 is a very big pain in our necks because of the financial responsibilities that are involved in this particular commitment. In as much as we want our children to catch up with the time that they lost when they were in school, many parents are saying that the financial responsibility is a bit still too heavy, given some of them are yet to recover their streams of income and any other sources that they were reliant on when it comes to generating income. So now they are just reeling from the harsh economic times and feel the pain of paying school fees, because children are going to be home for a little over a week, about 10 days. They will be opening schools on the 26th of this month. That is just a little over, I think 10 days or so.
Yeah.
That is the holiday. Then they go back to school for another academic year. And even after this first term, which will be ending around the 1st of October therein, they'll also close for another week and reopen for second term, which will run up until the 23rd of December. They close for another 10 days or so and reopen schools on the 2nd of January. 2nd, 3rd there. So you see, this entire year, our children are going to be having a 10-day break in between terms just to be able to catch up with the academic calendar. But on the other hand, there is the financial responsibility that parents are supposed to fulfill in order to keep our children in school. And for many parents, it is still a struggle just trying to find our footing back to where we were, looking at a time where the economy was good. COVID hadn't ravaged us as a people. So it is understandably so. But at the end of the day, schools need to operate. So it is a bargain that we just have to keep up with as parents. So I feel the pinch, but it's necessary, Vic.
Yeah.
It is necessary. Now, before we move on to the Star, just very briefly, here on the People Daily, there's this particular story in regards to Chief Justice Martha Koome, who has proposed a raft of measures which include that are aimed towards decongesting the courts and the prisons and cells consequently. So this particular piece, and according to this proposal that has been put forth by Chief Justice Martha Koome yesterday, she proposes the introduction of instant fines for traffic offenses, because looking at so many people are in prisons and cells for petty crimes. And if they can be resolved without the people needing to go to the prisons or cells, the better. So she proposes the reintroduction of roadside courts, imposition of instant fines, and clear regulatory policies for border transport to be able to deal with any road or traffic offenses there and then, to avoid court summons or being held in cells as you await your date in court. More of that is there on the People Daily. Victor.
All right, so, it's always a battle to the motorist there. It's always a battle to the motorist. Exactly. I mean, it's I don't know why motorists. I just don't know why motorists. Okay, but we have to be careful and observe the traffic rules at all times. All right. So the story of do or die, as Ruto faces Kenyatta on home turf, and political pundits say that UDA win in Kiambaa will be a body blow to Jubilee. So Jubilee will make sure that they do everything clearly possible to make sure that they stop UDA from clinching that seat, even by one vote. That will be a statement sent there. And so it's going to be a duel, and by end of today, probably later in the evening or tomorrow morning, we'll know who is the clear winner of that constituency. Now, security features in 2022 ballot papers, results forms revealed. Now, polls agents say that tenderer must have appropriate technology to track shipments once farms that have been manufacturing similar materials for the last 10 years. Of course, elections are soon coming, and they need to make sure that every security feature of the ballot papers and all the voting materials are taken into consideration without any hitches come next year. So that is that. So before we take a break, it's all over. Etiang accepts fate as Chariot joins team in Tokyo, and the team is also set for that. That is Peter B, coach of 2020 Olympics Games. That is 1,500 meters. Trialist Kamar Etiang says that the athlete has accepted that he will not be able to compete in the Tokyo Bonanza. So that is there. All right.
All right, now as we draw this segment to a close, this has been in the headlines, so we always just get to have a look at what the papers have for us in the headlines today. But remember, today is a big day for the people of Kiambaa as they get to go to the ballot and pick a member of parliament representative. Of course, we will be here to keep you up to date with all of that and so much more. But in the meantime, the hashtag still remains to be Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. At KBC Channel 1 is our official station handle. Our individual handles ever remain to be at Victor Olo, at Jane Mumboy, and at Doreen Arange. Victor.
All right. Before that, let's take a look at what's happening on the road, and our traffic marshal, that is Doreen Arange. Doreen, from wherever you are, what is the situation like in the CBD right now?
Victor, right now we won't be looking at the roads. We actually want to start with our first conversation of the day. As I promised our viewers that it is Entertainment Thursday, so it simply means that we're going to have it a bit lighter. And we already have our guest actually on location right now. That is 10 Bolt. He'll be talking to us about his music, his journey. Ni Mtanzania Mkenya. Pia tatueleza kuhusu muziki Tanzania na Kenya. 10 Bolts, I want you to come just closer to me. Come closer. Hapo sasa uko sawa. Tuambie sasa 10 Balls ni nani?
Yo, 10 Balls ni Mkongo, ni Mkenya, ni Mtanzania, ni superstar wa East Africa.
Sasa ninaongea na highlights. Sasa hii yote ni ya nini?
Unajua 10 Balls nature. Babu yangu ni Mkongo, bibi yangu nikimaanisha sio wife, grandma ni Mtaita, lakini mama yangu ni Tanzania. So na pia ni superstar.
Okay. Sasa tukuje kwa muziki. 10 Balls. Muziki ulianza mwaka gani na imekuwa vipi?
Nakumbuka mimi kuanza kuimba nimeanza muda mrefu sana, nitoka ilikuwa ni mwaka 2000. Hiyo 2000.
Ni kitambo sana.
Nimeimba huko. Sasa hiyo masuala za kupanda shuka, panda shuka, unajiita jina mpaka lina expire, unabadilisha ingine mpaka leo hii kuja kukach kabisa ile industry ya maana. Yani vile kindaki ni kama miaka 4-5 sasa. Kitambo nilianza kuimba.
Kwanza ulitokea pale Tanzania ukaja Kenya ukakuwa in a band group, but hiyo the band did not work. Ilikuwa vipi ndo sasa ukakuja mpaka ukakuwa solo artist?
Unajua nikwambia kutoka since 2000 inamaanisha kuna maisha mengi sana mpaka kufika 2021. So nilipomaliza high level nikakuja hivi kama nije kusoma, lakini mambo haikuwa poa. Nadhani story ni ndefu tukianza kuhadithia hapa.
Tushamaliza
kesho kutwa. Ila iko huko nje, watu wanaweza Google pia wakaitazama. Nilipokuja huko mambo haikuwa poa. Nikakuwa street, nikaishia kwenye street. Unajua vile ukikuja Nairobi lazima ukaribishwe, tunajua. So ni katika hustle za muziki nikajikuta nimeanzisha bendi. Na bendi ilikuwa inaitwa TBM Band, na ikatoa ngoma nyingine, tukafanya video moja kubwa sana. Lakini unajua ukikuwa katika bendi watu kadhaa, vision mnatofautiana. Naelewa?
Yeah, true.
Mimi nawaza nifike vile mbali, mwenzangu anawaza afike hapa. Hizo malengo zikaleta utata na nini, tukakuwa tumekuwa destroyed. Lakini nikaja tena nikasimama peke yangu.
Kwa hivyo singing in a band na kuwa solo artist, unaweza compare the two?
Unaambiwa ukitaka kutembea haraka tembea peke yako, si ndio? Na ukitaka kufika mbali tembea na wenzio.
Kweli.
Okay, na band ilikuwa ni poa, but changamoto ni nyingi. So kitu nimebadilisha ni kwamba band ilikuwa ni watu tunaimba wengi. So nikajitoa nikawa naimba peke yangu, lakini nikahakikisha nyuma yangu kuna watu wengi wenye kusupport na ili nifike.
Alright. Now muziki wa Tanzania na wa Kenya, because umesema pia umekuwa Tanzania, umeishi Tanzania, umekuwa pia hapa Kenya. Unawezaje ukacompare the two? Kwa sababu unapata Wakenya wengi watasema sisi tunapenda muziki ya Tanzania, yani inatuvutia, lakini ya Kenya kuna vile bado hakuna content.
Okay, unajua issue si kwamba hakuna content.
Issue ni wapi?
Watanzania, nadhani Watanzania wanapushi sana kazi zao.
Okay.
Unajua unaweza shangaa Mtanzania unamwona yuko Uganda, unamwona kama Alikiba alikuwa hapa, kwa Tanzania, anaenda Uganda na kwa, lakini kwa Wakenya huwezi ona hiyo kitu, unaelewa? Mkenya utamwona tu yuko hapa Nairobi, akienda sana Mombasa, hapo yani, unaelewa?
Ako tu hapa Kenya.
Tunaweza tukaona mtu kama Bahati ameenda Bongo, but kaenda Bongo kashuti tu video karudi. Lakini angalia Mtanzania anakuja hapa na utamwona amefanya media tour kote. So anajitangaza. The way wanachukua market yao ni tofauti na
Kwa hivyo basi Wakenya wanafaa wafanye nini haswa? Because pia Wakenya kuna wasanii, kuna wale wanaimba.
Kuna watu wanaimba na wanaimba kweli, lakini marketing yao ni yani tuseme tujitahidi. Marketing yetu kidogo sijui niseme watu wanaridhika sana.
Okay.
Unajua akishaenda pale akiona ngoma imechezwa pale, mtu anatoa ngoma lakini hataki kufuatilia. Hataki kujua Tanzania inachezwa, hataki kuunda connection Tanzania, kuunda connection Uganda, na hiyo ndio tatizo kubwa ambalo liko hapa. Unaona Watanzania wengi wanakuja kufanya show hapa, wanakuja kufanya show Uganda, wanafanya show Rwanda, but wa Kenya unaona tuko tu hapa. Tanzania tuendi, Uganda tuendi, kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu watu hawakujui.
Okay.
So inabidi tu push. Twende mbele zaidi.
Kwa hivyo inabidi wasanii wa Kenya wa push further, si kusema tuna complain sana muziki ya Tanzania, ya Nigeria ndio inachezwa. Hata
mimi nilikuwa naambia siku moja niko na manager zangu Sweet K na Nitspin, naambia hizi masuala za kukataa competition ndio masuala za kuua ulicho nacho, unaelewa? Lazima ukubali kuingia katika competition. Usilalamike tu mbona Nigeria anacheza sana, mbona Mtanzania anacheza sana. No. Wewe umeenda Nigeria, wewe umeenda Tanzania kupeleka muziki wako, maana hao unaowasema wako kwenye nchi yako. Wamekuja kwenye nchi yako, wewe umeenda. So usibaki tu kusema sisi hatuchezwi sijui nini. Umeenda. Force. Kubali competition ili ujifunze. Unaelewa? Nakumbuka nikikuwa shule, mwalimu alikuwa anapenda sana kusema unaweza ukawa unamsifia sana mama yako anapika chakula kizuri. Ukasema mama yangu ndio the best cooker duniani, kwa sababu hujaenda kula chakula cha mama mwenzio. So nenda kajaribu chakula ya mama mwenzio ndo ukuje uje kwa mama yako useme mamangu anajua kupiga. Unaelewa?
Kwa hivyo competition is healthy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Unajua kusingekuwa na maendeleo kama hakuna competition.
Yeah.
Hata media zina compete. Ndio maana wanakuja na result poa, unaelewa?
True.
Yeah.
Aya, tuongelee sasa muziki yako.
Yeah.
Nataka tuongelee huu wimbo ni Mahaba.
Mahaba.
Tueleze kidogo tu kuhusu huo wimbo. Nini ukafanya ukatunga huo wimbo? Ilikuwa ni personal life experience yako, ni ya mtu?
Macho ya kuvutia. Nywele alisisi obandia. Hii ni jinsi gani najaribu kuonesha kwamba Waafrika tumebarikiwa na viumbe vitakatifu. Viumbe vilivyoumbwa na Mungu siku akiwa ameshiba.
Siku yake ya saba ya mwisho.
Yeah. So ni nyimbo ambayo nimefurahi kuimbia watu waweze kuambia wapenzi wao wakiwa naoa, wakiwa kwenye mahusiano. Unajua, mwanamke anahitaji kudekezwa bwana.
Apendwe kidogo.
Kidogo ambiwe macho mazuri, macho marembo.
Asifiwe hapa na pale.
So ni kitu iko mtaani na iko kwa marafiki zangu na ipo kwenye maisha. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo basi Ten Balls, wewe wakati ambapo unatunga nyimbo zako, nini haswa huwa inakufanya unatunga hizo wimbo? Ni experiences zako, maybe ni vitu ambavyo unaona katika society. Nini haswa huwa ina influence how you compose your songs?
Cha kwanza siwezi sema ni vitu zangu zinatoka mbinguni.
Wasi msanii wa gospel.
Unajua, ni cha kwanza kabisa unaangalia mazingira ambayo yamekuzunguka. Cha pili pia ni vibe ya studio. Unasikiza beat. Beat inataka kitu gani? Kuna beat zingine unaisikia feeling yake ni ya kulia. Alafu wewe unataka ucheke, utakuwa umeenda ovyo. Pia ni vitu ambazo ziko kwenye maisha na ni vitu ambazo zinanizunguka. Na pia sometimes nafuata mood ya beat. Unaelewa? Hiyo kama Commando imetoka kwenye album ambayo inaitwa Mwangaza, The Lights. Ambayo bado kuna nyimbo ambayo imetoka majuzi tu, Go Away.
Which is the latest song.
Which is the latest song. Na pia ziko nyimbo nyingi sana. Ni nyimbo ambazo zinazunguka katika maisha ya kila siku.
Okay. Also umeongelea kuhusu album na hiyo pia huwa jambo jingine ambayo hatuoni sana pia hapa nchini. Ama tumetoka kwa wasanii wengi. Kwanza kwa wasanii ambao wanachipuka. Mtu anataka tu atoe singles, ujue niko na mambo kama hayo. Tueleze kidogo tu kuhusu the importance of actually kuwa na album kama msanii.
Cha kwanza, unajua nakumbuka ilikuwa miaka miwili nyuma nilikuwa kwenye kituo kingine cha media ingine, wakaniuliza masuala za album kipindi nimetoa EP ambayo inaitwa Rise Again. Nikamwambia nataka nitoe EP. Akaniuliza swali kama wewe. Nikamwambia unajua album hususan kwa mwanamuziki ambaye yupo ndani ya muziki wa biashara, ukuwa na strategy za kibiashara. Unajua? Album ni profile ya msanii. Ni sawasawa na wewe unapoenda kuomba kazi katika kituo fulani, lazima watakuuliza CV yako ni gani. Unaelewa kitu? So album ni CV ya msanii, hususan kwenye masuala za corporates na kampuni zingine. Ukiwa una masingo mengi, unaweza usikuwe nominated sehemu yoyote, umeona? Hata ukiangalia Grammy mara nyingi hata wasanii wanakuwa nominated pale ni wale wamerelease album. Unaelewa? Huwezi kuwa umerelease single na umekuwa hapo. Kwa hiyo EP na album ni profile ya msanii. Huwezi kukuwa msanii uliotimia mkubwa alafu uko na masingo.
Kwa hivyo ni muhimu sana, si ndio? Okay, asante sana Ten Balls kwa your time talking to us a bit about your journey. Na pia kutueleza umuhimu wa hizi album, especially kwa wasanii ambao bado ndo wanachipuka, si ndio? Alright, so that has been our first guest this morning. That has been Ten Balls, of course, talking to us about his music journey. But Good Morning Kenya is not yet done. It's still Entertainment Thursday. Plenty more after this break.
Nissan Serena ndio hii. Na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS. Alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Mimi sikujua kama wewe ni mkarimu hivi.
Mke wako ni mtupu kabisa.
Mbona pesa kidogo?
Ni kidogo Hebu toka hapo nje uone kwa tuzikuta.
Wakili niambie Kate amefanya nini ama nitaenda kwake akaniambia yeye mwenyewe. Kama ulikuwa hutaki kusema hungeanza hii story.
This week on Surura, a warrior whose weapon of choice is glass.
Hi!
A colorful artist teaching others to love who they are through art. And finally, we drift over to join a young group of adventurers taking hiking to new heights.
Wow, why you at home?
That's all coming right up on Surura. Find your adventure. Only on KBC.
This is where it all began. As the mother of broadcasting in Kenya, you can trust KBC to bring you authentic news and programs to your living room. As KBC, we take pride in our unrivaled heritage as Kenya's trusted national broadcaster. Commanding over 92% digital television signal coverage of our country, 23 radio services that cut across our entire language spectrum, a national, regional and international digital presence backed by the most experienced and top-notch broadcast professionals in the industry.
A very good evening to you.
The new look Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is truly ahead of the pack. Turn to the mother of broadcasting in Kenya for stories that resonate with our identity, our aspirations as a people united in purpose. Real stories of hard work, of passion, of creativity, of big dreams. Stories that cement our nationhood. Stories that bring us together as one. We take pride in our shared heritage and destiny. KBC. Informing, educating and entertaining Kenyans as one nation. KBC. Kenya's listening. Kenya's watching.
Welcome back. You are still watching Good Morning Kenya on this particular day, 15th day of July, a day that the Kiambaa residents are going to the ballot to elect their next member of parliament. This is after the death of former MP, that is Paul Koinange, who died on March 31st of this year. And now 8 candidates are lining up to take that particular seat. And just to give us more details on what's happening down there at the ground, let's join our reporter, that is John Kioria, to give us more details. There you have it. John, good morning, up and early. What is the situation right now where you are? We understand you are in Karuri.
Thank you very much, Victor Olo. Like you have rightly pointed, we are in Karuri Secondary School. It's a polling station inside Kiambaa constituency. This Karuri ward is where the Jubilee candidate Kareri Njama comes from. And voting began in earnest as early as 6 a.m. And if you were to compare this election with the Juja election, the by-election in Juja and the by-election in Kiambaa, you would see quite a slight of a difference, because the turnout is quite encouraging. Not really what you would expect, because in any by-election anyway, Victor Olo, 50% of voters don't come out to vote. But what you can see here, probably an encouraging number this morning. If you were to compare that with the Juja by-election, you would see the numbers are quite encouraging in Kiambaa. But voting began in earnest. The security is tight, and obviously this exercise is going to continue up until 6 p.m.
Okay. John, in terms of security, I know you have a sense of, the security being heightened there, and, police raised concerns of issues of violence which have been witnessed sometimes in Bonchari. How is it right now in Kiambaa?
From the time you enter Kiambaa constituency, and I'm talking about the border between Nairobi and Kiambaa, and I see the Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town making his way here, and we'll be talking to him very quickly. Victor Olo, if you allow me, Gunjiri Wambogo, the Member of Parliament for Kiambaa, kindly, if we can have a very small interview with him, because I just saw him pass by, so let me just grab him very quickly and take this opportunity. Mheshimiwa Karibu said, thank you very much for joining us. How is the exercise so far, because I know you're in charge of Kiambaa in terms of a Jubilee party?
No, I'm actually not in charge of Kiambaa. At this moment in time, I'm just an agent accredited to Karuri, and we were just making sure everything is going on. We are happy with what we are seeing in terms of the efficiency of the process. The AIBC has done a good job. The only place they let us down was with the badges. We haven't been able to access most of the badges, but they're facilitating anybody who has identification and the appropriate documentation, because the part of the badges is their fault. So far so good. Security is good. Turnout is good for a by-election. So we can't complain.
There were claims and counter claims of plans of rigging the election, and each party accusing each other of playing dirty. I don't know whether this morning you have a change of mind, or you think there's still some dirty games ongoing.
The thing about politics is that depending on the competition you have, I mean, we had some of our competitors yesterday sending out messages saying our candidate had stepped down, which is actually, that's not how this game is played. But there are certain things you expect. You're going to have claims and counter claims of what is going on. I think, but the most important thing is that the people of Kiambaa will decide today who they want as a member of parliament. And from our side, we are quite confident with what is going on.
You're quite confident, and I see you're one of the people pushing, for the rejuvenation of a Jubilee party. Does this present that momentum?
This is a moment. This is actually a moment of that rejuvenation. As you have noticed, we also had a very different leadership going out into the ground on the issues of the party. So I suspect that the country is going to be excited about what happens here and from here moving forward.
You're the only agent from the Jubilee party?
No. Every line.
In terms of members of parliament?
In this particular station, and every of the 34 stations has at least one member of parliament as an agent there. Yes.
Let me allow you to go do what you need to do. That's the member of parliament for Nyeri Town, Ngunjiri Wambogo. I'll also speak to one of the presiding officers very quickly, Victor Olo. Thank you very much. Probably you can tell us how the exercise kick-started and how you see the process so far.
First of all, we're very, very excited to see that people turned up in numbers. By 5:40, people were lining up here, so we are grateful for the turnout, and we are very hopeful that whoever they're going to choose, they're going to be satisfied with.
All right. How prepared is the IEBC in terms of delivering the right result and a credible result to the people of Kiambaa?
The systems have been really, really checked in, and there is no loophole left for anyone to probably think of stealing off the votes or compromising anything that we are. We're using our KIMs, which are really working well, even to the elderly, even to any other person who is a voter. They're all getting registered, and they're getting verified through our KIMs kit, which is really working well. And yeah, we are happy for that the process is really working well.
All right. So whom do you have inside there?
I have my clerks, of course. I have my DPO. I have our agents. Yes, and now the media, of course.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We wish you all the best.
Thank you
very much. The presiding officer we're speaking to, Victor, like you can see, motions are moving. As things are, Kiambaa is deciding who becomes the next MP. There are 8 candidates, like you rightly pointed out, and you see, it cometh. This moment, the moment cometh when they need to choose who between the 8 candidates is gonna lead Kiambaa constituency, probably for the next 1 year.
Curia, before I let you go, we have got 8 candidates, and one of them is the only female standing in between 7 men. How is it going to be like now that we have got 8 candidates? Just give me a picture of how that ballot paper looks like.
All right, interestingly, the candidate that you're talking about, the lady, Lucy Wanjiru, already withdrew from the race in support of Kareri Njama of a Jubilee Party. So, yes, her name appears on the ballot because by the time she was withdrawing, I think the IBC had already printed the ballot papers, but she's no longer in the race. She withdrew in favor of the Jubilee candidate, Kareri Njama. Well, whether her supporters will come out and still mark the ballot in her favor, quite an interesting one. But all the 8 candidates appear there, including the ones that have withdrawn, because some of them withdrew so late into the race.
Okay. Kiora, as a journalist, I will always say last one. But the question of safety and social distancing at the polling stations, this is something that IBC and police officers said that, they are going to make sure that the health protocol is taken care of at the polling stations. Have you seen something of that sort at the polling stations wherever you are? John?
The enforcement is quite clear. In fact, I want to move just a little bit away so that my cameraman focuses on the line, as you can see. Well, not really the 1 meter social distance as you would expect, but you can see everybody is masked up and the officers are very clear that nobody makes their way into the polling center until they are masked up or they have observed the COVID-19 protocols. Probably the only problem and the challenge, as you can see, is the enforcement of the social distance because this is lining up. Otherwise, what you can see, everybody is masked up as they come up to vote. So in terms of observing the protocols, well, Victor, it's evident they have done it.
Okay. John, thank you. Now I promise to let you go. We will be keeping touch with you because you have got a long day ahead. It's never that easy covering an election.
Absolutely.
To make sure that you get that wall-to-wall coverage until the last vote is counted. Thank you. Please keep us updated on what's happening there in Kiambaa, and we'll get back to you later on in this program. Thank you. That is John Curia in Kiambaa constituency, just giving us a feel, the touch and sounds of what's happening right there at Karuri polling station. And they said that 50%, he's also talked to Nyeri Member of Parliament, that is Gunjiru Wambogu, who said that they are optimistic that it's going to be a peaceful election. And just go, vote, and go back home. It's that simple. Just go, cast your ballot, and go back home. All right?
Absolutely. 96,000 approximately registered voters. So let's see how the turnout by the end of the day will be. As from what we have heard, it's encouraging as of now. As early as 5:40 a.m., guys had already started queuing, waiting to cast their votes. So we will be keeping you up to date as and when we get more information in regards to those elections right there, of course, with John Jacob Kuria, the Kikuyu man with 2 English names. All right, so that is that in regards to that. So keep it here to catch up with all the updates that will be coming from that end. But bringing the conversation back here in studio, as promised, we have fantastic discussions lined up for you. And today being Thursday, it is always about entertainment or the larger entertainment scene as a whole. And of course, that is what we have lined up for you. So Mr. Director, tunaenda mziki ama tunaendelea na interviews? Mziki? To dance kidogo? I am Jane Wamboy. You can find me across the socials. My handle is at Jane Wamboy. Our official station handle ever remains to be at KBC Channel 1, both on Twitter and on Facebook. We welcome you to share with us your thoughts. Check in. I want to know where you're watching us from. Use the hashtag Good Morning Kenya. Check in. Tuma salamu. Say hi. Say what's up, man. I appreciate your love as and when it comes in. Much love going out to William Waburi, always tuned in from Tamu, Dan Chebi, we appreciate you. Amerix, thank you so much for tuning in. We thoroughly appreciate you. Jorim Alosa, Richard Mohia, Bodo, who else do I see? Kevo, Kamen Aliki, thank you so much for tuning in. At West Mose Juma, we appreciate you for making time. Amaganga Mustafa, thank you so much for tuning in. Now we want to get into the next discussion. Remember, We will be checking in with Curia as and when he has gotten to the next polling station to just keep you up to date with what is happening in Kiambaa as they go to the polls today. But before we get to that, back to studio, and Manta's entertainment and entrepreneurship merged into one. And with us in studio this morning, we have the pleasure of having with us Jimmy Gate. Mambo vipi?
Salama sana.
Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you just say hi to our viewers, give us your social media handles so that guys can also interact with you on the socials.
Excellent. My name is Jimmy Gate, and I know most of you know me by that, but I'm called James Mutheremu, and I hail from Kiambu. Today we are
say it like a true Kikuyu.
Korea Kiambaa. Anyways, so it's really nice to be here.
Yes.
If you want to interact with me, I'm at Jimmy Gate Official on Instagram. So please head there in case of anything. Inbox me, like, follow me, and yeah.
Jimmy, when guys see you from your music, we used to perceive you as such an extroverted person.
Oh,
but
really?
Interestingly, you are so laid back. Are you an ambivert, an introvert, or we just mistake you for an extrovert?
I'm actually an introvert from way back.
Yeah.
It's just that, when it comes to music, I sort of get into that element. But I'm a very quiet person.
Awesome.
I'm a very contained person.
All right. Yeah. Now, when it comes to your music, of course, that is what we associate you with whenever we see you. Jimmy Gate, Muziki, Muhadara, Aga here. But how are you doing in terms of music? It's been a minute since we heard something from you. How is music faring on for you?
I would say I haven't been releasing music for quite a bit.
Yeah.
I sort of diverted my attention a little bit. Not that I quit music, it's just that I'm focusing on other things. Yeah. But yeah, I'll always be a musician. And since I have a studio, I'm always recording. And in the fullness of time, I will definitely release some good music. I have lots of good music.
So this is something you are intentionally doing?
Yes.
Okay, it's part of the journey as a whole?
It's part of the journey.
All right.
And I think we always go through different, dynamics and phases of life. And I'm in that phase where I feel like I need to focus a little bit more on other things.
Yes.
But I haven't quit music like many people have been thinking.
Yes, Jimmy Gate resigned from music. Jimmy Gate has quit music. This is Jimmy Gate's last song.
Music is a calling for me. So I don't just do music because, people want me to or because I want to.
Or you're supposed to because you're
an
artist.
I do music because it's a calling.
Yeah.
And sometimes God is going to tell you, you need to focus on this direction for now, so he can prepare you a little more so that when you come back into
your better version of yourself.
Absolutely.
Now also looking at also the last time you were really in the public space was when you were going through some medical issues, when you're going for your treatment in India, and as far as that is concerned, that is as much as we know. How are you doing now?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. The recovery, how was it?
It's been good.
Yes.
I was put on medication and I'm good.
Adjusting to it? Are you taking your medicine?
Well, that's a while back,
Yes.
So I think now it's basically, I was done with the medication. So now it's basically living a healthy lifestyle, which is very important actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now let's come to this space that you are in. How would you describe it, this entrepreneurial, this marketing space that you are in right now? How would you describe it, and where would you say the genesis of it all was?
Wow, it's been a journey, I would say. When I was starting music, I didn't have anyone in Nairobi. And the only thing I had was hope and faith that I would actually make it. I was living in the village. Everything was in the village. So we didn't have any relatives or friends in Nairobi. But I was so determined, and I said, I'm going to Nairobi and I'll go and conquer. And I didn't even know how to. But I believed, and I remember coming to Nairobi, and the only money I had was 5,000. I was given by a friend. And that is the money I used to settle down in Nairobi.
Was that a loan?
No.
Ama alikupatia tu Jimmy,
alinipatia.
Go figure yourself out.
Yeah. And I started pursuing music, and I worked really hard. At that point, it wasn't about the money, it was about the calling I felt so deeply attached in me.
Yeah.
And I pushed, and I remember it was really difficult
But eventually, of course, I broke through and I was able to do many hit songs. And eventually, you know, I felt like I needed to also introduce my life into other things. I've always wanted to do business, and you know, at some point I felt like I needed to branch into business because I'll not always be a singer. You know?
So it was as per the situation that was happening, or you just felt I need to diversify who I am as a person? Or was there a situation that was happening that gave you that wake up, or like, yo, Jim, kuja tuende kwa ile kona tukutane, we need to venture into other streams, other industries?
I actually had a meeting with my own self, and I said, okay, look, you're going to have a future. What if your children are not going to be singers, you know? What are they going to do? What are you going to leave them with? And so I started building that desire in me of branching into something that I can build for the long run, so that even my children can, you know, inherit something from me. Because not every child adapts their parents in terms of giftings.
Yes.
And also I wanted stability. I wanted to pursue things that can, you know, provide a system that can generate revenues for me, even if I'm not the one. Because when you're a musician or an artist, you are the system.
Yeah.
If you don't sing, it means nothing is happening.
You're going to get something.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's it all over entertainment industry, in acting, in what you're doing. We need to think about other things that we can do that are not necessarily dependent on us, that are systems run by other people, but they can generate revenues for us. And that's when I started now pursuing business.
Yeah.
Of course, when I went to India, that was a really, really huge turning point for me. Because when I went there for my treatment, I met so many other Kenyans who had gone there for treatment. The same hospital I was in had probably 300 Kenyans that had gone for treatment.
For medical services, wow.
Exactly. So I met with them, I interacted with so many of them, and I realized that they usually face so many challenges. Flashing back to what I went through before I went to India, it took me roughly 3 to 4 months to figure out which hospital was to go to, which agency that was going to take me there. It was difficult to know even the documents that I would need and require. So interacting with those guys in India, the Kenyans, I mean, I realized they go through the same things.
The same things, or even worse.
Or even worse.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, I mean, it took me 3 to 4 months to figure this out, and I am Jimmy Gate. I have all these connections, but it took me a while before I could settle down on which hospital. So I asked myself, what about that common person who has cancer, who has brain tumor, who has any condition, and they have been referred to India, they are in Eldoret, they are in Machakos, they are in whatever part of the country, they don't know nobody like I do. And I said, you know what, I think there's a problem here that I need to fix. Of course, I realized also there are so many brokers who broke people to go to hospitals in India. And because they're making commissions, what they do, they'll get you the most expensive hospital, so they increase their commissions. And again, for me, that was not right. It didn't sit right with me.
That was something that you discovered when you were there.
Exactly. So I said, something has to be done. I'm not the kind of person who complains. I'm not the kind of person who likes pointing fingers at people. I don't judge people. I like doing something. So if I can do something, I like doing something. So I said, I'm going to do something. And so in my stay there, because I stayed there for a month, I started interacting with guys there, the doctors, and asked them, can we find people or agencies that can help us to create a path that can sort all this for our people, where we can get discounts for our people, where we can get good hospitals, you know. And eventually I was able to meet this agency that helps lots of Kenyans and others, actually international patients, to access good hospitals, specialized hospitals, and access very high discounts.
At a very good cost collectively.
Absolutely.
Now, allow me to just interject at that particular point. We need to take a very quick breather, but we'll be back to continue with this conversation. And I love that it has taken a personal journey for you to discover a gap that is there, that so many people get to deal with on a daily. Any questions that you have for Jimmy Gate, shoot them through at Jimmy Gate Official at KBC Channel 1, and a genuine boy will be looking at them after this break. Stay with us.
Get the VIP access to the best shows on KBC Channel 1. We have something different, something special to spice you up. Get ready for new, exciting and captivating dramas. Movies.
I love the smell.
Comedy.
I went to the Popos. Huh?
Drama.
Did he assault the Queen in my house, in my presence?
News, sports, and so much more. Do the things that make you happy on KBC Channel 1.
Nissan Serena ndio hii, na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS, alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill, kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Sikujua kama wewe ni mkarimu hivi.
Mke wako ni mtupu kabisa.
Mbona pesa kidogo?
Ni kidogo Hebu toka hapo nje uone kwa tazikuta.
Wakili, niambie Kate amefanya nini ama nitaenda kwake akaniambia yeye mwenyewe. Kama ulikuwa hutaki kusema hungeanza hii story.
This week on Zurura, a warrior whose weapon of choice is glass.
Hi!
A colorful artist teaching others to love who they are through art. And finally, we drift over to join a young group of adventurers taking hiking to new heights.
Wow, why you at home?
That's all coming right up on Zurura. Find your adventure. Only on KBC.
Na mimi sio Joyce. Mimi sio mrahisi hivyo. Stick to your lane.
Ningekuwa na uwezo, ningewarudisha wazazi wako hapa duniani. Lakini sina uwezo.
Good morning, Fiona.
Why did you do it, Mama Felix?
Fiona, I'm not leaving the table until everyone is yes.
And Mama Felix too?
Yes, why?
I don't want to eat with her. I don't understand any of this.
Hata kama uniulize chochote na mimi ndakupa majibu sasa hivi.
Back. Glad you are still with us. This still remains to be Good Morning Kenya. Much love going out to Kip Tanui all the way from Morocco. Thank you so much for tuning in. We still have with us Jimmy Gate in studio. His handle is at Jimmy Gate Official. You can always talk with him on the socials. I'm sure he will be able to respond as and when he's able to do so. Now, to just pick up from where we left off before the break, you were now at a point where you are having conversations with the medics over there, just trying to find a lasting solution for that matter,
right,
for future patients who have to go through the same processes, have to go deep into their pockets just to get medical services that they desperately need to just live.
Yes, so that worked very well. I identified a very, very good agency in India. So they have 300 specialty hospitals.
Wow.
And we've been able to help lots of Kenyans access very good hospitals and access very good discounts. I can tell you of many cases where patients came to me, they had a bill of 5 million from other agencies locally, and when they went there, they spent around 3.5. So we save like 1.5 million. And that is something I'm very keen on because I understand sometimes people don't have the money. They have to sell properties. They have to do harambes to, raise the money. So that is, So we are able also to advise on all the documentations required. So in a period of like 2 weeks, someone can have all the documents and be able to travel to India for treatment, and not only travel to India for treatment, but to a specialty hospital. If it's cancer, we'll take you to the best cancer hospital.
So quality is not compromised
Absolutely.
as much as the price may be subsidized.
Absolutely.
All right.
So out of that, I started developing a lot of passion on helping people. I can tell you, I really, really feel satisfied when I help people.
I can imagine. I follow you on the socials, and sometimes even on your WhatsApp, I see you posting all these employment opportunities.
Yes.
And I gang up and najiuliza Jimmy, isinedo. What are these you're running? Today you post 66 jobs available, 30 jobs available, 20 people needed for this, another 30 needed for this. Almost every week there's something that you post in terms of employment opportunities. Is this also an area that you have ventured into, or what's the story there?
Yeah, so based on the passion, I
praise the Lord. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, congratulations on this new look.
It looks good.
I feel like I'm on CNN,
Tunachanganyisha watu kwa hizi streets.
Hey, no masana. KBC.
Yes.
Anyway, so I have so much passion on helping people because I want to leave a legacy to my generation of somebody who actually did something. You can never be successful if you don't have successes. You can never have impact if you're not changing people's lives.
True.
And that is exactly what I want. I don't want to be just a celebrity, because I think we have a misconception on who a celebrity is. A celebrity is not a popular person. A celebrity is someone who's doing something for the people and getting celebrated by what they are doing, the impact they're having in the society. When I got that revelation of who a celebrity is supposed to be, that changed my way of, it changed the way I look at things.
Yeah.
I think we are so much engrossed on us as celebrities. all the attention needs to come to us.
Self-centered.
We want to show people what we're doing, how we're doing, what we're eating, where we live, and all of that, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. But I think we need to go a step further and see what can we do for the people based on the platforms that we create or people give us, because we have a responsibility. And so I'm taking that responsibility of looking at how I can help people. And one of the things that I discovered is that a lot of people don't have jobs.
Especially after this pandemic.
Exactly.
Goodness.
And so again, I started asking myself, what am I going to do about this? What can I do about this? Because the most successful people are the ones who solve other people's problems. So you have to identify a problem and solve it. So I identified this other problem, and now I'm trying to solve it. And the other day I said, in the next 2 years, my vision is to help 10,000 people get jobs. And so far so good. So again, I have teamed up with really, really good agencies abroad that are helping a lot of people. We've been able to take a lot of people to abroad for very good jobs, safe jobs. Forget about these cases you hear.
And
they do happen.
It is a valid concern.
They do happen.
Yeah.
But we also need to look at it from the other side of the coin, because I think the media just runs one side of the coin. For instance, I'll give you statistics. If you look at how many people from Middle East, Kenyans, who come back dead, right? There are around 12 people in almost a whole year. From the US, almost 30 people are coming back every month.
Every month.
Every month, but the media doesn't cover that. There are so many Kenyans who are living and working in Middle East, maybe almost 1 million.
Yes.
And they're working properly. What a lot of Kenyans don't know is that some of these people who come out and report cases of how they've been mistreated, yes, they have been mistreated, but they'll never say about why. They never tell the reason
cause.
why.
Yeah.
Why were they mistreated? Because I can tell you most of them is because, and I don't want to say that it's all of them, but most of them have done something that triggered that to happen.
And this is from research that you have done to be able to come up with a conclusive statement
100%.
like that?
These are realities that happen. Someone goes and sleeps with someone's husband, they get caught. Someone steals something from, the employer's house, or they disrespect them. Some of them don't want to keep the rules and regulations that have been set. And based on that, it triggers mistreatment.
A chain of other unfortunate events.
But there's no lady who's going to come out and say, I was mistreated because I slept with someone's husband. They never say that. And it's fair enough to say these things are happening. I'm not denying that they're happening. But can we also show the other side of the coin that there are so many hundreds of thousands of Kenyans, especially in Middle East, who are working there. They are okay. They are, feeding their families. They are building a livelihood. There are those that have been there for 10 years, 19 years. They're still working there. Instead of demonizing Middle East, for instance, and saying Middle East is not a good place to be, I'll tell you, before I started doing this initiative of, searching for jobs for people, I used to have this image of, especially Middle East, because we do Middle East and other countries as well. I was never interested in, focusing on Middle East or any other country around there.
Yes.
Why? Because of how people talk about it, until I got to know the other side of the coin.
All right. Now, as humans, naturally so, we are always quick to look at what is not working as opposed to celebrating what is working. Now, looking at that aspect of what we have seen, the misdeeds that some of our people go do there, are there any forms of training that you offer the people that you send there to make sure that when you are sending them there to do this particular jobs, they are well equipped? Because you could be coming from a very humble background and not as exposed to the environment that you will be going to there. Hence culture shock, then you get excited and do so many other things that sadly land you in problems. Do you sort of just equip these people that you are sending abroad with the skills, that the basics at least, that they need to be able to survive and live decent lives there while maintaining their jobs?
That's a very good question. In part of the other reason why some Kenyans would face challenges when they go, not only in Middle East, but in other countries.
Yes.
Because even in other countries, I can tell you, Kenyans are also facing some hard times. But part of the reason sometimes is because if you use a wrong agency that doesn't care about you, all they care about is the money they're getting paid, they will cut corners. They'll not follow the regulations that have been set.
Do.
Yeah, there are regulations and protocols that the government has set for you to be able to go there and, number one, be legally working in whatever country you're going to. And so some of the agencies are not following those protocols. So when you get on the other side, you probably don't have the information you require. You're not well trained. For instance, as we train, we do proper orientation before sending anybody out of the country. So that by the time
culture shock is real.
Exactly.
Culture shock is real.
Absolutely. So we do that thoroughly so that by the time someone is getting there, they fully understand what they should do and what they shouldn't do. And I can tell you, of all the people that we've sent, none has ever had a problem because of that one reason, that we follow all the protocols the government has set. Number two, we train them before they get there. And we follow up on them all the time. We want to know, are you okay? Because that's another issue. If you don't have a good follow-up system
in place,
to know that your people are okay, if they have a problem, how do you mitigate that? Because here's the thing, we are living in an imperfect world. If Kenyans that are being mistreated would come out today here in this country, I mean, we would have millions of them. The thing is, we need to look at it from this perspective. When you're in Kenya and you're getting mistreated or going through challenges, I mean, there's that mentality of, I'm still at home. I can go to my cousins, to my aunties, I can go, you know. But when you're out there, you probably don't have anybody you're thinking that you can turn to. That's why they come out on social media. But the same things that we are facing here, they are facing outside the country, whether it's in the US or in Middle East or in China, whatever. The reason they come out so much is because there's that mentality of, I don't have anybody around to help me. I need to just, you know, spill it out on social media. And so having a follow-up system is very, very important. And I want to urge Kenyans to be very careful on some of the agencies that they're using to go out there. You have to vet them. You have to find out about how legit they are, because some of them are not. There are those that are legit and they're doing a good job. But I'm also here to educate Kenyans and tell them, look, don't say this country or that country is totally bad, don't go there. Yes, there are issues that are happening there.
There's issues everywhere.
But there are issues everywhere. So for me, it's making sure that you're following all the protocols that have been set. Make sure that you confirm that the agency you're using is having a good follow-up program. Are they registered with the government? Are they following all the protocols? Are they giving you an orientation before you go there? If they're not following through those things, please forget it.
Step back.
Step back.
And this was part of the conversation that we actually had this past Monday here with Honorable Sankok. All the agencies were deregistered and they had to register afresh. So just do your due diligence, get to understand if these agencies are registered. I'm sure that is a question you're willing to answer whenever you are asked.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the agencies that you're working with.
Absolutely.
Now, my directors tell me we're out of time, but for those who would like to be in touch with you, maybe you could remind us the social media handles once more that can be able to reach out and get all the necessary information that they may need if they're looking to get a source of employment and a decent one for that
Absolutely.
matter.
And safe one at that. We are very keen on safety. Safety is paramount for us because we want to create a safe path, and that's what we've done. And so I'll give out a number as well. So if you have a phone, you can take that number pretty quickly. But you can go on my social media at Jimmy Gates Official. Go check out the jobs that I've posted there. And if you're interested, go to my inbox and I'll give you more details on how you can get that. If you want to call, text or WhatsApp, the number is 01134899898. That is 01134899898. Again, at Jimmy Gate Official on my Instagram. In case you didn't get the number, you can come there and I'll give you more details on how you can get the jobs. Lots of people have, by the way. I'm so excited because, you know...
I'm glad, you know, this is something that so many people would be happy to, you know, get the opportunity to get a source of income. Just today on the back page of the Daily Nation, parents are crying. The pinch of school fees, just a week break for that matter, and you have to pay school fees again. And for some, we are yet to recover. We are yet to get back to the previous financial standing and muscle that we had. So if you are looking for a job, so many Kenyans have been just discombobulated by COVID-19. So thank you so much for just doing what you're doing. We wish you the best. We hope to hear some music soon, but at your own time, definitely. We'll be sure to support you as best as we can.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for hosting me today. It's been amazing.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, just sit tight.
Okay.
We want to cross on over to Miss D. Aendelee kutuchangamkia na Entertainment Thursday. Doreen.
Studio with Jimmy Gate about music and entrepreneurship. Now you want to move still on entertainment, but talk about painting, artistic and pencil art. And I have two guests who will be helping us understand more about that. But right now I'm joined by Clarice Mchoraji. Vipi?
Niko fresh.
How are you?
I'm good.
Let me hold this for you. To onesha our viewers actually, you know, all this art and what exactly you're doing as a person. Sindio? Yeah. But let's start from this form of art. We call it the pencil art. Tell us a bit about this kind of art.
Pencil art ndio passion yangu. I usually do pencil art because I decided to specialize for pencil art. Because there are a lot of forms of art, but mimi ile linipendeza ni kalamu,
ni pencil. Kwa hivyo hii hapa ulianza when? Which time did you start doing this kind of art?
Professionally, nilianza last year.
Okay. Time ya COVID?
Yeah. COVID imetufanya maneno tumejua mengi. Alafu kama ni talanta nimeanza kama nikiwa mdogo.
Okay. Yeah. So kufanya this kind of art, because unajua tukisema pencil, watu wengi wanafikiria basi ni kalamu ya kawaida, uko na hii canvas, alafu mtu amekutumia picha, alafu ndio hivyo basi. But what skills gani mtu anahitaji kufanya art kama hii?
There are certain skills you're supposed to learn. Kama hii wafaa mimi hutumia some gradings ili nipate some perfect proportion. Kalamu tumia kawaida, kuna kalamu ambao artists wanatumia. There are some pencils artists use to do the portraits. So hakuna venye utachukua kalamu ya kawaida ile HB uchore. Ukiamua kutumia HB utaka mwaka mzima kwa art moja. Same to rubber nini, kuna vitu different. There are just some instruments za kutumika za art.
So kwa ule mtu ambaye anatazama na maybe anataka kuanza kufanya this kind of art, na ushatuambia kwamba mtu atumie HB pencil ama ile yenye tumezoea, kwa hivyo ni kalamu ya aina gani ambayo mtu anafaa kutumia?
Kuna specific pencils, they are in different types. Kuna watu hutumia charcoal, but me specifically for pencil me hutumia lumograph. There is a pencil called lumograph. Ziko in different kind, kuna HB, 6B, 2B. Unaona hivyo venye B iko za songa mpaka HB 12. Ina depend na mtu yataka gani.
Okay. Kwa hivyo since 2020 Clarice mpaka saa hivi ambapo umekuwa ukichora this umekuwa kufanya this kind of art, rather the pencil art, imekuwa vipi? How has the journey been, given the fact that hatuoni art kama hizi hapa nchini?
Journey imekuwa ngumu, siwezi sema ni rahisi, because I've been struggling to learn more and more. Hapa mali hii ambayo umeona nimechora bado I've not reached where I want.
Okay.
It's still a process, na art ni process. Kila artist ana progress yake ya kumake kwa art. So uwezi mtu yule artist ambaye ako chini akuwe level yako. Uelewa?
Yeah.
It's a process. It's a learning process. Lazima upractice. So my ideal time nimekuwa nikipractice now and then. Challenges zimekuwa pia. Lakini saa mtu ni kujikaza
tu. And as you're seeing, actually I'm showing you the different forms of the pencil art that Clarice has done from the first one. This is actually another one, and this is actually a picture of a lady. And I want you to tell us who ni nani na nini aswa ikainspire kuchora huyu mwanadada.
Huyu hapa ni mwende comedian.
Okay.
Ule ambaye alikuwa anaonekana Churchill. What nilipendezwa na hii picha kwanza ilikuwa nywele. As you can see, ana braids, they are white. It gave me a challenge because mostly I've been drawing black hair. So nikaona mwende huyu ana nywele nini ameka piece ya white, let me try. To the mic, ameshika mic, there are some technical things too nimeona, and personally mimi ni fan wake.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then mtu akikuja kwako anakuambia nataka maybe nichore kama mimi. Mtu huwa anakutumia picha ama ni description ama ni kwenye wewe umeona?
It depends. Najua nina clients na nina celebrities, but everybody is my client.
Whether ni celebrity or not.
Everybody is my client.
Okay.
So kuchora watu, me would prefer a client should send me Kenya anapendezwa nayo. You send me picha ambayo inakupendeza kabisa. So kwa sababu huwa sipendi nichore yenye inanipendeza. Uweza chora alafu mtu akasema sipendezwi na hii sipendi. Kumbe ni picha impendeze.
Okay.
Umechora vizuri maybe, but picha ipendeze huyo mtu. But sasa akikutumia haiwezi pinga. Ukitoa vizuri haiwezi pinga. Ataona yenyewe ni mimi. Mwenzake ataona yenyewe ni yeye.
Okay. Na just from this different images tuko nazo hapa Clarice, kuna zingine tunaziko na color kama zile zenye naonesha wa viewers za kwanza. Hii hapo unaona iko fully black and white. Kwa hivyo unakwanga wewe unachagua hii hapa nitaweka black and white, hii hapa nitaweka color, ama inakuwa ni client, inakuwa vipi?
Ina depend na client na pia mimi mwenyewe. At times naambia client nikiweka hii hapa kwa color hii picha tokea nzuri. Nikiweka hapa black and white hii picha tokea nzuri. So mimi ndio artist. I know what will make the client smile. Kwa sababu yeye mwenyewe hajui, anasema tu I just want a good photo. Nataka picha yangu tokea nzuri. Something good that nikiweka kwa nyumba ama nikiweka mahali I'm just smiling. So wewe mwenyewe uta-advise client. Na kama yeye mwenyewe ana tu test ya black and white, hakuna kupinga. I'll do to her desire client. Yeah.
Okay. So then again, what makes a photo or a portrait a good kind of portrait? Yani mtu akiangalia hivi, yani tuseme kama kwa mfano hii hapa. Otile mwenyewe. So mtu akiangalia hivi, unaona mtu akiangalia anasema kwa mfano hii hapa ni yani nimeipenda. So mwingine ataangalia atasema hii yani kuna venye bado haiko pale. So wewe kama artist ambaye anafanya this kind of art, what makes a portrait a good portrait?
Kenya nitasema what makes a portrait be a good portrait ni mwanzo kama artist wafaa kuwa na passion.
Okay.
A portrait will never look nice kama huna passion. Kuna wale wa kufunzwa na kuna wale ambao ni talanta yao, lakini passion is important. Mtu ambaye amefunzwa anaweza songa mbali sana kama ana passion. Na kuna ule ambaye ana talanta na give up na hana passion yake, hiyo imeisha. So you see, passion matters, hard work, practice. So the more you practice, the more your work becomes good.
Okay. Yeah. Kwa hivyo wewe basi uko kwa which category? Wewe ni wa kufunzwa, wewe ni wa talanta, wewe ni wa passion?
This is my talent. Najivunia. My talent.
Together with passion inatoa such kind of beautiful portraits like this. All right. So I mean, ukiangalia vile imekuwa so far, of course tunajonga kuna wale at least tuseme kama difficult clients. Wewe pengine ushamwambia portrait kama hii na hii juu pia kuna different sizes, si ndio? Kuna hiyo A2, kuna A3 different.
Kuna A2, A3, kuna A4 kale kadogo kabisa nusu ya hii, kuna A1.
Kwa hivyo wale difficult clients ushawaambia kwa mfano A2 ina cost 8,000. Yeah, anakuambia mimi niko na tu maybe 6,000. Such kind of clients as an artist, una deal vipi na such kind of clients?
Wanasema biashara ni kuelewa. Despite it's my passion, that form of passion ambayo niko nayo ndio natumia kusema huyu mtu amependezwa na kazi yangu. Huwezi sema mtu akuondokee na amependezwa na kazi. Huwezi jua akitoka hapo nani ataona, wangapi wataona. So they usually say watu wako level moja, sio?
True.
So people not being at the same level, you must understand someone. Lazima umuelewe, ukubali, amenipa hii kazi. Wacha nikubali. So that's what I do, I accept the amount that they give me. Ile level ambao naweza sema pia wakinifinyilia sana pia I complain, but si ile sana, at least we balance to a fair.
You balance with the client.
Okay. At least to a fair, namwambia hapa itawezekana because pia kuna charges mina na pitia nikienda kuframe kuna mambo nalipa nikienda kununua material so no lazima pia hesabu yangu nipige vizuri.
Okay. So finally tukimalizia Clarice, unajiona wapi in the next 2 to 3 years as a pencil artist? Very quickly.
First, hii passion yangu imenifanya na tamani sana niwe msanii wa kule juu, nijulikane Kenya kwanza na nchini kote worldwide. Personally in 2 years to come natamani sana ningekuwa na studio yangu. Alafu I love nurturing people. Napenda kunacha wale ambao wana talanta kama yangu. Yaani ningependelea pia mimi nikuwe na wafunza wale ambao wako chini wajiwezi and they have such talent.
Okay. That has been Clarice Mchoraji talking to us a bit about her journey as a pencil artist. But we're not yet done. I promise that I have 2 guests. The other one actually will be coming in after this short commercial break.
Be sure, check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
Ala! Nissan Serena ndio hii. Na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS. Alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente. De otro.
I'm coming! I'm here! Efrain has the keys. Oh my goodness. I'm here, Mariana. Can you please bring me a hammer or maybe a screwdriver?
Where's Efrain?
Who is this?
It's your boss. Let me talk to Efrain. Come on.
Mr. Ulysses, I am sorry, but I cannot do that. The police arrested him and they took him away.
What?
Get away from her! Don't you dare come near my Flavia again. I want you to leave my ranch now. You'll never be welcome in my house.
No. Don't come here.
Oh, yes, I am. And you better welcome me with open arms or you're going to regret it.
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente. De otro modo, nunca igual al de otra gente.
夜风伴吹散沉香，香满旗烟上。
You just need to confirm she has a shoulder wound. Right after that, our guards will then surround the place.
Is it really worth risking your life for a bag?
It's Yudza. She seems to be in trouble.
Speak. Where are Thea and Yunxi?
Go find them yourself if you dare. They were probably poisoned or eaten by beasts by now.
夜风伴吹散沉香，香满旗烟上。这一味当归入药汤，相思泪水。
Mheshimiwa alinipatia ngili 10 na nyinyi mnaandika ngili. Ha? Wewe ni nani? Wewe usiniite. Samson na Delila.
No. Na umefikishwa hapa kotini mara 3. Leo unakubali ama unakataa?
Nani akubali? Siwezi kubali.
Mashtaka yote mawili.
Nakataa zote mimi mheshimiwa.
Mashahidi wako.
Yes.
Anasema
wewe usinichoke kwa
hakusema mambo ya kukuonga.
Hata mimi sijasema vile unapelekanga.
Ngoja mzee.
Ndio ni kweli.
Nyamaza, wacha hasira.
Lakini sasa mchunguze huyu jamaa, huyu anaitwa Ketuta hayuko nomo. Mimi naweza kukwambia sikia vile anapayuka.
And welcome back. We say that we are informing you, we are entertaining you, at the same time we are educating you. Now it's time to inform more on what's happening in Kiambaa constituency, and by-election is currently ongoing, and the constituents are just going about the business to elect the next member of parliament, the person who is going to represent them in the house for the next 12 or 13 months, before we go to the next general election. Now, let's cross over straight to Karuri, and being joined by Jacob Kioria, to give us a feel and touch and sight and sounds of what's happening. Jacob, the last time we spoke, you spoke with the IEBC officials and Nyeri's MP, that is Ngujiru Wambogo, and they said that everybody is optimistic. What is the situation right now where you are?
Well, the situation is relatively the same, if you were to say so. The number, quite encouraging. And if you were to think about it, because we've tried to speak to some of the IBC officials as well as some of the voters that are out here, the number is quite encouraging. Compared to other by-elections, like I told you, Victor Olo, earlier, comparing to other by-elections, you would say that this by-election has quite encouraging numbers. We don't know whether this is reflective of other polling stations, and that is where we'll be going immediately after I'm done speaking to you, going to other polling stations. But the situation is just the same. Security very tight, observance of COVID-19 protocols, and the voters are generally peaceful across the constituency. The only different thing probably from the time we were speaking, Victor Olo, is the cold.
A picture. We know that technology is being applied here in this by-election. We have got the kits being used. We have got the ballot papers, of course. What is the approximate time that each person takes before he or she is done with the whole process?
All right. This is a simple, like ABCD or a straight jacket. You don't take more than 3 minutes inside there, because once you're in and you're verified, first of all, through your identity card, and then the KIMS kit obviously will reflect that you are a voter. The only thing that remains is for you to actually go to the booth. Once you handed the ballot paper, go to the booth, mark it, and then put it in the ballot box, and then there will be the indelible mark that is put on your finger. That is to prove that you have voted, and that is to ensure that, again, you don't come back and vote again. But very quickly, Victor Olo, let me inform you what is about to happen. At around 10, in a place called the Mbigwa, the UDA candidate, that is Njuguna Wanjiko, will be voting there, and we will try and ensure that those pictures are live for you as he votes. From there, we'll also head to Gashie, where the Jubilee Party candidate, that is Kareri Njama, is also voting in Gashie, and we'll be bringing you those live pictures. So once we're done speaking, that's where we'll be headed to cover the candidate for Jubilee, the candidate for UDA, and these are the candidates also, the other 6. We'll also try and ensure that we cover them as they cast their ballot.
old lady there taking it to the ballot. This paints a positive picture because, you know, most youth will always say that, Mimi, I don't need to go and vote. I don't want to wake up in the morning to go and queue to go and vote. But there, we've seen a video of some old lady who is being assisted to go and cast her ballot. Now, how is the situation there in terms of those people who are perhaps visually impaired, who are not, not able to move freely? Are they being assisted, and how are they being handled down there? Perhaps if you've seen any?
Fantastic. That category in elections is called assisted voters, and there are IEBC officials who are supposed to guide these people visually impaired or the old people. They are assisted to vote, not to make the decision rather, but to vote in this election. And of course, as that happens, even the agents for the different political parties and candidates are inside the polling station. That way, they are also able to monitor as the assisted voter is being assisted by the IEBC official on voting. How do you mark? Who are you marking against? And that way, that is how they are assisted. It's quite interesting when you see old people coming out to vote, and the youth are not coming out in their numbers, because if you were to check the line behind me and the people there, what do you see? Like you can see the lady just walking in is quite an old lady, and it's quite interesting the number of old people that are coming out to vote. If you compare that with the number of the youth, you would say there's quite a difference. Probably they went up to their daily jobs, and they will be up later in the afternoon to come out and vote. But quite interestingly, again, Victor, and this is probably for your insight, you will realize the politics of clan. You've never had this again, but I'm telling you right now, the politics of clan are gonna play a big role in the results that will come out of here, because there are clans. You hear that particular ward is occupied by a particular clan or a group of people. That other ward is occupied by a particular people, and if these candidates were able to appeal to them, then they are lucky. Probably they will emerge as winners in those particular wards, and what result that will have on the final result when they are being tallied in the evening. So the politics of clan, for the first time probably in the Mount Kenya region, you're hearing a situation where clan is contributing quite a big, it has a big influence in terms of how the politics of Kiamba will run, and that is how it has been made to understand.
Talk of clan, but let me just ask you this one, Jacob. How important is this by-election?
This by-election, Victor, is quite important in so many ways. When you look at the Jubilee Party, which is the ruling party, this is a do or die win, because what the embarrassment that was in Juja constituency, its stronghold, and then PEP, a new party, BC Jubilee in its stronghold. So this is a very important seat, particularly for the Jubilee Party and President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the Jubilee Party leader, because even the MP, the late MP Paul Koinange, was a Jubilee Party MP. He was actually the chairperson of a National Security Committee, and you had the president's message of condolence to the family, and you heard what the president said about Paul Koinange being his trusted ally and how important he was to his administration. So this seat is important because, again, what has been said about the waning popularity of a Jubilee Party. Has it become a lame duck party? What about the popularity of a president? So those questions are in mind. For UDA, you're talking about the deputy president. Is his support in Mount Kenya solid? Because that is what his allies have been trying to, that's the picture they have been trying to cast. Is his support solid? Because the results of today will prove Jogo wa kuwika ni nani. That is how you would put it. Jogo wa kuwika ni nani. You have UDA and Jubilee going all out to square it out, because the win is important for both of them in terms of how the politics of 2022 will go around the country and again in the Mount Kenya region. It will be very important.
Jacob, well put. Thank you so much. Of course, it's going to play a very key role moving forward. And, 2022 is fast approaching, and ours will just be here to keep eyes on everything that is happening around there. But for you, we just have to let you go for now. Just give us more insights later on when you catch up. And yes, keep safe and make sure that you keep social distance, all right? See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is Jacob Curia in Kiambaa. Of course, everything is moving on smoothly. Jane, we've seen two old ladies from the video there going to vote. And I just asked Jacob, when you ask someone, have you ever voted? A young person, what do they say?
Apana.
Most likely,
yes.
And you see, there is no sense of better feeling than going to the ballot and exercising your democratic right as a Kenyan, to be counted that you voted for that leader of your choice.
And just as he has said, from what we have actually seen, comparing the population, the elderly versus the young, you find that the elderly are the ones that are majority of them queuing there. But of course, bear in mind, it is a day of the week. It is a working day of the week. So we hope after work, they will be able to go and vote, because polling stations are open up until 6 p.m. they're in. Yes, and we do hope after work they'll be able to make their way to the 154 polling stations in all the 5 different wards there and cast their votes. 96,000 registered voters in Kiambaa, and we do hope by the end of the day, if not all of them, a majority will have cast their vote, because people are calling this a 2-horse race, in as much as there are 6 candidates who are running, vying for this particular seat. It is a 2-horse race between the Jubilee candidate and the UDA candidate, but at the end of the day, the democratic right of the citizens is what is going to reign supreme.
All right, and I think it's also important to note that it's not only Kiambaa where we have by-election. We also have Muguga Ward, where we have got 4 candidates. That is Muguga Ward, which is also having its by-election. And let me just give you a run-through for your information. That is Muguga Ward. We have got 4 candidates battling out for that particular seat. We have got Peter Njoroge of People's Party of Kenya. We have Moses Gishau, Third Way Alliance Kenya, and Joseph Githinji of Jubilee Party, and lastly, Peter Thumbi of United Democratic Alliance. So, as that is happening in Kiambaa, of course, we have got 8 candidates. We have got Willie Kamau, independent candidate. We have got David Mugo, independent candidate. We have Evans Wainaina, People's Party of Kenya. Isaac Mushugi, Federal Party of Kenya. Lucy Wanjiro, Party of National Unity. Richard Njoroge, the New Democrats. Karir Njama, that's Karir Njama of Jubilee Party, and lastly, John Wanjiko of United Democratic Alliance. So we have got 2 by-elections running concurrently, Kiambaa constituency and Muguga Ward currently taking place as well. All right, Jen.
Yes, so we are here to keep you updated with all that we get in regards to those mini polls that are happening. Now we cross on over to another item that we have lined up for you with Doreen. D.
Yes, as I promised to our viewers that today, even as we talk about entertainment, we shall also be exploring the arts kind of space, given the fact that this is an untapped area. And earlier on, we actually just got to find out a bit about pencil art. But what about this kind of art? We call this the painting art. And right now, I'm joined by Gaetano. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're good? Now I want our viewers to understand more about this painting art. Sindio, ara mtu anaweza appreciate this kind of art, right? So maybe we can start from what your background is as an artist.
Well, my background as an artist, mimi nilianza art nikiwa mdogo sana, and the journey imekuwa rough sana, imekuwa so rough, because first of all, this kind of art is not appreciated so much in this country. So imekuwa hard sana kuipush through. Yeah, but yeah, tunaendelea.
Aside from the fact that this kind of art, because unajua watu wengi sana hawajui actually if we have painting as a form of art. We just know the portraits, tunajua of the pencil art, like what Clarissa alikuwa anatongelesha hapo awali. But aside from that bit of watu wengi hawajui about this kind of art, nini ingine imefanya ikakuwa so rough all through?
Imekuwa so rough all through because ni rough because this kind of art very few people can afford it. First of all, it is expensive.
Okay.
It is expensive. Hiyo si uongo.
Inahitaji shilingi.
Yeah, because ile ni contemporary art because it requires a lot of brains.
Oh.
Yeah, ni creativity ni ku-express ile kitu una feel kwa heart yako, mind yako, ama soul yako. Yeah.
So tuseme with this kind of art, unlike the previous one, hii hapa mtu akutumii image.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Ili msee kama anaangalia tu ile imemfurahisha then ana purchase.
So concept ya this kind of art basically ni nini?
You just letting yourself loose. You just express what you're feeling inside. That is what to express kwa hizi canvas. Yeah.
So for you as someone who does painting art, ni nini haswa huwa inaku-influence? Like what do you look at?
My environment. I mean everything that happens around me. Yeah, friends, family, kila mtu tu yani.
Fine. Let's talk about this specific one.
Yeah.
Yenye naonesha watu sasa. What is this? Na nini ili influence this, this kind of painting?
Well, your piece niliita The Mask.
The Mask.
Yeah. Ni The Mask juu ni ukiangalia vizuri it's a face. Yeah? But then it is distorted. The left eye is on the right and the right is on the left. Then mapua bigi. And then the brain iko na vitu mingi sana. So inaongelea about zile vitu watu wana go through. But wanavalia sura ya happiness na wako na sadness ndani. That's why kuna red na yellow at the same time. Yeah.
So is it kama a form of perhaps depression given the fact that kumekuwa na a lot of cases za depression in recent times?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, true.
So was it the concept ilikuwa based on perhaps kenye watu wana go through in general, ama it was maybe from a friend or a family member? What was it?
It was from a friend. Kuna a friend hata ndio alini-influence ni do this other piece pia.
Kuna ingine iko hapo chini pia, this specific one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one also is talking about depression. How distorted our minds are. It is complicated. Yeah.
All right. So then, aside from just environment, again, tukiangalia also this form of art, the painting, utapata even the ones that do it wanakwambia maybe sometimes political environment or political issues in a country, ama social issues. Hizo pia zukua factors of what will inform whatever you would paint as an artist who does this kind of artwork. Need the same case for you, or what is it?
Yeah, the same case because politician wana influence life yetu sana, as in ni part of our lives, so hatuwezi wa ignore. So lazima tu kuwe part of it.
Okay, fine. So aside from just depression the way you've mentioned, which other social issues, because umetuambia this kind of painting, unlike the other one where someone atakutumia an image of themselves or an image of something so that you draw, hii hapa ni from the heart, from your thinking, from the environment. So which other social issues zina inform the kind of paint that you do?
Environmental issues. Like this one, elephant. Nilikuwa naongelea about extinction of elephants, poaching. That's why your elephant iko na reddish and an unusual color ya elephant and with a black background. Kumaanisha manze yani ziko danger, zinasikia vibaya. So environmental issues pia ni factor big sana kwa society.
So tunaweza sema Gaetano mostly, as much as kuna different other issues hapa na pale, but also mostly surrounding environment yako influences a lot.
As an artist, me work na whatever is happening around me. That is what I basically experiment with.
Okay. So kufanya this kind of art again, skills gani mtu anahitaji? Because I'm trying to imagine maybe you have a viewer, the way just you're saying, it's not appreciated as much. So perhaps this is someone maybe who wants to start doing this kind of art, wants to start painting perhaps, na hawajui waanzia wapi, because for you ulianzia from when ukiwa a toddler per se, si ndio? So which kind of skills does someone need to have, ama expertise before aanze kufanya this kind of
well, skills everybody can have the skills, but sasa ndio ukuwe na, as in uweze ku bring out kitu kama hii, lazima tu ukuwe very observant, very keen. You read a lot. I mean, lazima tu kuwe na information. You need to know what is going on, what is happening every day, every single time. Every time, lazima ujue jana nini li happen, ama kesho nini inaweza happen. So yeah, just experiment and kuangalia tu kile kitu yenye happen kwa environment yako.
So is it more of a skills and a talent, what is it?
I would say more of a talent, not skills.
More of talent and not skills.
Yeah.
So then does that mean someone does not need to go to school?
Yes.
You don't need to?
No, me I study at Kweli school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what will you answer to, as in from the passion and the talent itself?
Yeah. I sketch daily. Everything I see ikinibamba na sketch. Sketchpad yangu natembea nayo kila mahali. So yeah, niko observe tu. Yeah.
Okay, oh, well, that's interesting. So it's just observing and then
observing. Yeah.
Okay. Tukianza ulikuwa umesema that enyewe for a fact ini art yenye bado haiko appreciated, so and especially in Africa and even more specifically in Kenya. So wewe ukiangalia kwa mtazamo wako from someone who's really been doing this for a long while, because I mean a long while, at least inafayonesha watu wanafaa kuanza ku appreciate, si ndio? But ni nini inafanya tu watu appreciate this kind of art? What are the reasons?
I think reasons moja kubwa sana ni watu wengi hawataki kwenda kwa galleries kuona art. Na the only place unaweza pata this kind of art mostly ni kwa galleries. Naona. And very few people wanaweza enda kwa gallery kuona art. Watu wengi wanapenda tu art zile nichore. Nikutumie portrait unichore. So if people can start going to the galleries, they can see a lot. People have a lot of talent out here.
But watu wanafuajuaje that actually need to go to a gallery? Because these galleries, where are they? Because I mean, unaweza ambia watu wanafaa kwa gallery so that you can start appreciating this kind of art, because it's also a form of making income, si ndio?
Yeah.
But hizi galleries ziko wapi, and how are people informed about hata hizi galleries in the first place?
Well, galleries ziko kila mahali. Vile tu watu wataki get information, because if you really want to get information about art, utasik hiyo information. If you seek the information, you have galleries, hata hii archives. It has a lot of information, very nice information that people don't know. And if you have to kuingia adults and blah blah, unacheki. We have Nairobi Gallery here. So galleries are around, people know them. If vile tu watu maybe hawako interested ama they don't have time. Yeah.
So it's just a question of people being more interested for this kind of art. See, we do not have galleries, we do not have places where this one is showcased.
Yeah.
Okay. And do we have events where, this kind of perhaps art in Akwanga showcased also for people to learn and more about this kind of art?
Yeah. We have events. Events that happen. Open air events. Like weekends. Most of the time, Sarit. Yeah, events ziko.
Okay. Yeah. As you try to fix your mic, Gaetano, we just want to take a very short break here as even as we continue talking about this kind of art, and Gaetano is continuing to help us understand more about painting as a form of art and even what you can do, perhaps as a Kenyan, to start appreciating painting art. That break will return with more of that.
You just need to confirm she has a shoulder wound. Right after that, our guards will then surround the place.
Is it really worth risking your life for a bag?
It's Yuza. She seems to be in trouble.
Speak. Where are Feiya and Yunxi?
Go find them yourself if you can. They were probably poisoned or eaten by beasts by now.
Sikujua kama wewe ni mkarimu hivi.
Mke wako ni mtupu kabisa.
Mbona pesa kidogo?
Kidogo eh? Hebu toka hapo nje uone kwa tuzikuta.
Wakili niambie Kate amefanya nini ama nitaenda kwake akaniambia yeye mwenyewe. Kama ulikuwa hutaki kusema hungeanza hii story.
Hayawi huwa mbiu ya mgambo imelia, na kwa kawaida ikilia kuna jambo.
Mgambo uliopo hapa ni rumba kavacha, odemba na sukus.
Tutakupromoshea midundo moto ya Afrika, iwe kutoka kaskazini, kusini, magharibi na hata mashariki.
Rumba is here in your living room.
Na popote ulipo.
This is Bridge of Congo.
Nzambe ya sambe la kati, ako sambe la nani?
Right here on KBC Channel 1. Where?
Right now, I should have a plan B. Look at me now. Rules are just like the rest of you. Useless. You nearly gave me my cordial infarction.
Calm down. And what is my cordial? What is that?
Heart attack. What the hell are you up to, woman?
Gosh, I look that scary.
Mwalimu, can I go home? I am not feeling well and my temperature is odd.
It serves you right for your Angol Uchoyo, who is laughing now.
Maybe Fala was right, eh? Working as a team saves the day.
This is not a negotiation thing or forum, okay? Bring those papers now!